If this is your first time listening to the podcast, welcome and thanks for being here. My name is Paige and I'm a board-certified life coach, motivational speaker, and mental health advocate. I am passionate about helping others find more purpose and meaning in their life, and by sharing my own experience and life lessons in every episode, I hope on some level you can relate and feel inspired to take action in your own life. As a coach, I help individuals find more ways to create more fulfillment in their lifestyle. If you are someone who is open-minded and committed to taking action towards your own goals, let's connect. The best way to reach me is through my website, www.paigemitchell.coach, and you can either shoot me a message or set up an appointment for a discovery call. And now, let's get into today's episode. Thank you so much for your support and tuning into this podcast every week. Just a friendly reminder that even $2 helps keep Paige's lessons going strong. If you learned something new from this episode and recognize the energy I put into it, you can support me through my Buy Me a Coffee account. Click on the link in the show notes, and any contribution is deeply appreciated. Head on over to buymeacoffee.com/Paige Mitchell. Thank you so much. This episode is really important to me because it's still really fresh. So I kind of wanted to wait 24 hours before I hit record because I was still processing, and I really want to just share this experience with you. So I'm really stoked to be making this episode. I knew I was going to make it after the experience happened. I was like, oh my God, I got to tell my people, I got to tell the listeners what this journey was, with hopes that they will do something about it for themselves. All right, so I went to a women's retreat, and it was in LA, and it was amazing, and I am also open to making another episode just talking about the retreat period and my experience. But this episode today, we're going to be talking about breath work. And so at this retreat, one of the facilitators led a breath work session, basically, for all these women. And in a group setting, you know, even in yoga, sometimes I feel like I can't even really be myself. I feel like I can't fully let go or release. It feels like in a group setting, sometimes I'm like cautious versus if there's like a one-on-one thing, you know, where I could just truly be myself. So if you're not familiar with breath work, and I'm not an expert on it, so in the show notes, I'm going to write down the handle of the woman that did this for me, or provides the service, right? So you can look into it more. But basically with breath work, it's this experience where it's a whole hour that you're laying down, and it's a specific breathing technique. And the facilitator basically guides you through this breathwork session, and you're just processing. It's really just medicine for the soul, like truly focusing on just breathing for that long. It's amazing. It's just like meditation, right? Where like, even if you meditate for 5 minutes and you got the squirrel brain, right? Like the brain's just like, oh, how long is this? Like, can we hurry up now? Are we still doing this, right? And then actually, like, breath work is committing to your body. It's seeing what energetically comes up. So I wanted to share with you just some highlights and some bullet points here that I'll just cut to the chase of what I experienced. So this was over a Zoom session, right? And it was a group. So, I mean, even though the cameras are on, we're all like laying down. I'm not watching anyone. I'm not listening to anybody else. The facilitator has the music playing. I'm laying in the safety of my own home. I'm on the floor. I have my eyes covered. I have blankets, and I just have my stomach, my hands on my stomach, and I'm breathing, and I'm exhaling, and I'm doing, you know, through the mouth, through the nose. I'm making sounds. I'm just releasing shit. I'm just breathing through some challenges I've been having lately, right? A lot of negative self-talk has been coming up, navigating relationships, and just not really committing to my self-love practices. And so this session was what I loved about it was that it was super random. It was on an Instagram story because I followed her. I followed this facilitator, and it was like, hey, we're doing this free thing. You want to do it? And I just jumped. So I didn't even know that I needed this, but I went with my gut. I signed up since I already did it on the retreat. So I had a little bit idea. And here I am laying there. She's guiding us through. I'm breathing, and I'm starting to get cold. And that is one of like the symptoms. Either you have like your hands can cramp up like dinosaur hands, or you could get cold, you could sweat. There are some physical ailments, I guess. But for me, I was just kind of getting cold, and my brain wouldn't shut the fuck up. It was just like, you're still breathing. Like, are we done? But eventually I got through the hump, and I felt this rush of energy. It kind of felt like antsy. It's not even anxiety, but it just felt like I had to move my body. So I was laying down, but I moved my shoulders a little bit. I shook my legs a little bit while I'm still breathing. It felt like there was just this rush of energy that I needed to get out. And what I realized, and also through the guided facilitator, was talking about feminine energy and this whole play of feminine versus masculine, and this whole idea that I have been in my masculine for so many years. And what that really means for me is the action, the goals, the being super direct, being in control, making things happen, forcing shit to happen, right? And there's nothing wrong with being ambitious, but where's the feminine at? Where's the surrender? Where's the peace and receiving and nurturing? Where the fuck is that? Is somewhere deep in my body. So this whole hour, I'm breathing through it. I could feel this rush of energy dancing all over my body. It was a cool sensation. And I'm exhaling so loud, and no one else fucking cares. I'm on mute, right? It's on Zoom. So it just felt so good to breathe through it. And then she even told us to put our hands on a certain body part that we want to send love to. And so I did that, and then I just started bawling my eyes out, and I'm still breathing, right? I'm still doing the practice, but I'm sobbing. And it just felt so healing to release that energy. And oh my God, it was really fucking magical. And I really recommend doing a breathwork session, whether you want to do that in a group or maybe a one-on-one in person over Zoom. Just you don't know what you're going to get. And there's so many other people that have different experiences, and I've heard amazing stories too of their transformation, but just this one session really moved the energy in my body. And I ended up even just holding myself and crying and just thanking myself for dedicating this hour to breathe and release and let go. And it was a great exercise too for just the brain to take a back seat for a little bit. And because the brain so bad wants to control and manipulate and tell me what to do, which I get it. The brain is safety, right? The brain's just looking out. But it was for the first time really the body kept the score in terms of, no, the body's actually going to process this. So I felt really good, even though I was crying hysterically and feeling a little shaken up. The facilitator said, please, call or leave a voice memo of your feedback, and I want to hear about it. So her and I hopped on the phone, and I shared with her my stuff, and we were talking about this feminine, masculine stuff, and it just felt like finally my feminine, who is this if I had this image, it's just this beautiful goddess, this fiery, long hair, flowy, feminine, whatever. It's just this feminine energy that I have, but she's been kept quiet. She's been kept tamed because this masculine side of me isn't actually protecting her. It's judging the fuck out of her because the feminine is trying to break free and break through and push boundaries. And so the masculine comes in and is like, whoa, we got to tame her, right? So that was just kind of my experience. And I know it's pretty abstract, but I was just so stoked to kind of play with this energy and this masculine feminine and just leaving myself with the thought, and I leave this for you for this episode. First question is, what do you think about breath work? Is that something that you could be open to or just more curious about? Question number 2, what is your relationship like with your feminine and your masculine? And whoever's listening to this, whether you identify with a specific gender, that's not what it's about. It's about we all carry masculine and feminine energy in our unique form. So playing with that idea of how can I bring out more masculine energy? How can I bring out more feminine energy, whether that's in my business, in my relationships, in my self-talk, and just playing with those dualities I thought was really special. And I just wanted to share with you my experience because I was really, really stoked about it. And I'm going to continue to look into breath work a little bit more because I did have such an amazing experience. If any of this resonated with you, or if you did a breathwork session before with someone, feel free to tag me in this episode, take a screenshot, tag me, send me a direct message. I really want to hear your experience, what it was like with breathwork. And no matter what, remember that every day is a lesson. I didn't even know I needed this, and it was a big ass lesson for me.
If this podcast truly resonates with you, take a screenshot of the episode and share it on your social media story. Tag me on Instagram or Facebook, and my handle is @paigemitchell.coach. I'm so excited to see what you shared and connect with you. Thank you so much for listening, and until next time, take care.